The video opens with a striking, high-contrast visual contrast that sets an intensely serious tone for the entire investigation. The narrator's voice is deep, deliberate, and entirely devoid of the typical hyperactive energy found in standard internet commentary. Instead, the narrator immediately draws the viewer into a complex web of industry secrets, establishing that the traditional rules governing Hollywood have completely collapsed in recent months. We see a montage of pristine red carpets abruptly cutting to recent, chaotic news broadcasts detailing sudden corporate sell-offs and unprecedented legal actions. The narrator points out that for nearly 2 decades, the public was fed a carefully manufactured illusion of glamour, luxury, and untouchable celebrity status. However, a massive wave of unsealed files and sudden international moves has exposed a highly coordinated protection ring operating at the highest levels of entertainment. The narrative quickly establishes that this massive fallout wasn't an unpredictable accident. It was mapped out years in advance by 2 specific individuals who refused to be bought. By framing Ricky Gervais and Wendy Williams not merely as casual media figures, but as targeted whistleblowers, the narrator creates an immediate hook that forces the viewer to question how much structural retaliation these 2 actually faced for attempting to pull back the curtain on the industry's most protected elites. Transitioning directly into the core evidence, the narrator breaks down one of the most culturally significant moments in modern broadcasting history. The screen fills with the tense, uncomfortable atmosphere of the 2020 Golden Globe Awards, focusing intensely on the final time Ricky Gervais was permitted to host the event. Rather than relying on standard, safe Hollywood roasts that allow celebrities to laugh at themselves, the narrator explains how Gervais chose to deliver a calculated, multi-layered warning shot directly to the faces of the industry's most powerful producers, directors, and executives. The video highlights the absolute stone-cold silence that swept through the room the exact moment Gervais looked out at the billionaire crowd and explicitly referenced their deep connections to highly dangerous elite networks. The narrator systematically connects his seemingly edgy comedic choices to real-world legal developments that would take years to fully manifest. By highlighting the unsealed flight logs and internal corporate communications that recently became public, the video visually demonstrates that Gervais wasn't just telling jokes. He was actively laying out a timeline of systemic exploitation that mainstream media outlets were desperately trying to ignore. The narration emphasizes his deliberate choice to completely bypass the 200 multimillionaires in the room to speak directly to the hundreds of millions of ordinary citizens watching from home. The narrator then shifts the focus from award show stages to the deceptive, highly controlled environment of daytime television. The video introduces a detailed analysis of Wendy Williams, a media powerhouse who built her massive empire on an uncompromising refusal to validate polished corporate public relations statements. The narrator guides the viewer through a critical, behind-the-scenes examination of the final months of a famous 19-year daytime talk show run. While mainstream media outlets rushed to construct a celebratory farewell narrative for the departing host, the video highlights how Wendy stood completely alone in addressing the deep-seated allegations of workplace toxicity and structural misconduct. The narrator meticulously details a specific, highly charged archive clip where Wendy appeared as a guest on that exact daytime show. The video slows down to catch the subtle body language and eye contact that many casual viewers missed during the original broadcast. The narrator explains how the prominent host used a smiling, passive-aggressive demeanor to issue a very clear, highly calculating corporate warning to Wendy on live television. This segment brilliantly illustrates the hidden mechanisms of Hollywood suppression, showing how powerful figures utilize lighthearted, comedic interview formats to quietly threaten anyone who dares to disrupt the highly profitable industry code of silence. Diving deeper into the historical pattern of corporate retaliation, the narrator takes the audience back to the late 90s to prove that the campaign to silence Wendy Williams has been operating for decades. The video examines her explosive 1998 radio career in New York, where she was abruptly terminated from a major station after consistently exposing the systemic financial and personal exploitation of young, vulnerable talent by powerful music executives. The narrator explicitly outlines how Wendy was blacklisted long before the public ever caught wind of the massive legal indictments dominating the headlines today. A pivotal moment in the video features a tense, archived 2017 on-air interview where a notorious music mogul walked onto Wendy's television set. The narrator directs the viewer's attention to the exact second the executive subtly changes his tone, casually revealing that he had spent time alone with Wendy's teenage son backstage. The video captures the immediate, dramatic shift in Wendy's facial expression as her usual extemporaneous confidence completely vanishes. The narrator provides a chilling analysis of this interaction, framing it not as a casual compliment, but as a deeply calculated, threatening reminder from the Hollywood elite that they had visual confirmation on her family, drawing an absolute line she was never supposed to cross. The narrative takes a dark and highly controversial turn as the narrator addresses the modern medical weaponization used to completely remove Wendy Williams from the public eye. The video outlines her sudden, mysterious disappearance from television, which culminated in a highly restrictive, court-ordered legal guardianship that stripped her of her financial assets, her personal communications, and her individual autonomy. The narrator contrasts the official narrative, which claimed Wendy was suffering from an irreversible, progressive case of frontotemporal dementia, with explosive medical breakthroughs that occurred recently. The video reveals that a series of comprehensive, independent neurological evaluations ordered by her powerhouse legal team completely cleared her of progressive dementia, showing that she has maintained absolute cognitive awareness. The narrator explicitly details how her defense team is now moving aggressively to completely terminate the guardianship or take the matter directly to a high-stakes jury trial. This segment forces the viewer to confront a deeply unsettling reality, as the narrator explains how the legal and medical systems can be completely compromised and weaponized by powerful corporate entities to place a literal medical gag order on public figures who possess too much dangerous information. In the final major segment, the narrator synthesizes all the historical warnings to show the massive, unstoppable domino effect occurring across the entertainment industry. The video displays a rapid sequence of high-profile relocations and sudden corporate collapses, linking them directly to the truths that Wendy and Ricky risked their careers to expose. The narrator documents how a prominent daytime host has completely abandoned her luxury estate to permanently relocate to a remote area in the United Kingdom with zero intention of ever returning to the Hollywood industry. Simultaneously, the narrator breaks down the total collapse of major talent and sports marketing agencies. The video focuses heavily on a massive industry heavyweight and billionaire agent, Casey Wasserman, who was forced to abruptly put his namesake firm up for sale after unsealed government investigative files exposed highly suggestive, inappropriate email chains with a prominent associate of a notorious elite network. The narrator highlights how top-tier, Grammy-winning artists immediately severed ties with the agency to protect their own brands, causing a massive financial meltdown. The video concludes on a highly resonant note, with the narrator emphasizing that what the public once dismissed as late-night comedy or daytime celebrity gossip has officially transformed into federal investigations and historic bankruptcies, proving that the era of absolute immunity for the Hollywood elite has permanently come to an end.